Well, hello there. Welcome. I want to show you Siphon and some of the things that it can do on the back end. This is included for the enterprise users of Mass Page Tools, but if you have the standalone version, this is what it's going to look like. So basically, you have these top features, which is search by keyword, bulk URLs, search by URLs or RSS feeds, paste text, and import CSV. So first of all, I'm going to do the search by URLs and RSS. So I'm going to take this website here, and let's just take a different topic that they might have here. And so we'll click on technology, and we'll go ahead and we'll grab articles here that they have on technology. Okay, so we'll just go back in here, search by RSS or the crawler. And it's going to crawl that website and find different articles to go ahead and clean up. So you see there's a whole bunch here. So you're not going to want to do all of it because you'll be sitting for quite a long time. I'm not looking for services pages. So I'm going to delete all these. I'm looking for, we could do case studies, but I'm going to go after these here, these articles here. Not an author page. I don't want a category page. So you're just going to clean this up to what you want. Here's a tip. And now if they had an RSS feed, it would be really easy. It would just take the articles. So I'm just going to delete all this stuff just for the sake of this. So we have two different modes. We have the less content, which summarizes this content. And then we have more content. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit more content, and it's going to go to each one of these pages and grab content, rewrite it for you, and it's going to take away any menus and all the extra stuff, right? So you don't have to worry about that stuff coming in. And here's the content. Now if you hit the original, you can see the language has been changed. Some articles, there's a little bit more changes per sentence, and it just depends on what we're able to fix and change without changing the meaning. The whole idea is to not change the meaning so that it still makes a lot of sense, okay? So this is not spinning, this is just rephrasing everything so that it has different sentence structure, but it is still the same understanding. Now you can spin each block. So if you hit the spin text, it'll spin each block. Soon we'll have it so that you can spin the entire project as it's coming in. So you'll be able to do that. So right now, if let's say you wanted to spin this, then spin this. And this is if you're doing mass page. You can, I think, do only one at a time actually with this. So there's that one. Let's see if this is going to do it, because I left it alone. Here it is. There's that. We're going to spin this one, and we're going to spin this one. So this is going to be a lot faster when we export it all. But this will give you a lot of if you hit the preview, you can see what it's going to look like. So every time you respin, you can see there's totally fresh content each time. Okay, same here. See, it's changing each time. All right, and then if we go to here, merge content and download, it'll make a text document, and the parts that were spun will be all up here in Spintax. And if we had spun the rest, it would be in Spintax as well. But if you just hadn't spun it, it wouldn't be in Spintax. Okay. You'll be able to send all of this to a form. So if you have a form ID, you could send it to a form, and it'll just populate the description bodies for that form. Okay. All right, and that's if you have Mass Page Tools. We'll probably remove this if you just have Siphon. So, all right, so that's how that works. Basically, the keyword search is the same thing, except for it's going to go into Google and find the top ranking topics. And we have quite a few things going on here. One is you can have search by URL. So if you look like this, you can put in plumber services, and it's going to look for things that have the word services in the URL structure. So it'll pull up more relevant information to the keyword services. If you had statistics, it would try to find statistics in the URL structure, so in the slug itself. Okay, so you can kind of see this is so that we can kind of avoid having the same old top ranking websites. It gives you sort of a different way to look at it. You're still getting top ranking content. We're just looking for it with different keywords versus just the typical typical keywords. Now, if we see this is going to continue down through, if we go back and hit reset on this, and we go ahead and just put in this without changing the preset, and we just click on questions, we have some different questions that you can put in here. And as you check mark these, it'll put a comma next to them. And so you can use this to build a query, okay? And you can also, if you're looking for additional keywords, you'd be able to do that as well. You just have to do the keywords first, okay? But you can also put in like, HVAC, right? And so when you do the search, it's going to use this to try to find something that fulfills all of this. So it's just like searching in Google. You just fill this full of the different things that you're trying to search for, and it'll use that to come up with content. Okay, so it's very, very powerful. We're going to add some search operators in here as well for you, but it allows you to kind of get a lot of different ways of getting around things that are like directories. Now here's an Angie's, but here's a local plumbing site, and this has a lot of different topics, based on where I'm searching from. All right, so that's the search functionality. Again, if you search by keywords, you would have some keywords come up. If you search by questions, they would come up here. And you're just grabbing content. It's rephrasing it all so that you can reutilize it. See, this is different than the original. So you're still going to have to take it. Once you take it down, you'll have to double check it before you put it on your website. Make sure there's no brands. Make sure it's cleaned up and doesn't say the wrong word and things like that. Just to make it yours and customize it and things like that. So I would highly recommend that you do that. Now, if you have a list of URLs, let's say you have a scraper or something like that, or you just want to pull a bunch of URLs from your own website, put it in here, or some site that you used to have, you can put it in here and pull the content from that as well. Okay. Now there is a text box where you can take information and just throw this information in here, and it'll rephrase it. You can either summarize it with this dial moved over to the left, and it'll summarize it, or you can have it full and try to rephrase it line by line. All right. Then this last one is a import CSV file. You can do 100 lines on here at a time. And if you see, you'll see that here's some quotes. All right. And so if we were to put these quotes in, I'm just going to just put in the sample file just so you can kind of see this. So you could have 100 different ones, but let's just take this one here and import it. And it will go ahead and rephrase all that stuff, and eventually we'll make it so you can add Spintax and everything. But here's your file, and now you'll have two columns. You'll have the rewrites, and you'll have the original. Okay, so yeah, so it's definitely different sweat, perspiration. This one you can observe. A lot can be observed by watching. A house divided against itself cannot stand. A quarreling house cannot stand by itself. So you have those options to run, like, say, a bunch of product descriptions or a bunch of listings where you have a bunch of data. You can have it rewritten, but also stay within the cell. So this doesn't have to just be one sentence. It could be a few sentences, and each request will stay inside of the box. So this is a really cool feature. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you about Siphon. So you have basically the typical, box that you can rephrase. You have the URLs and RSS feeds that you can put in here. Let me just show you an RSS feed. So if I go to, I think this one does. Oops. So if you put feed on a WordPress site after a blog, I believe, I don't even know that you even have to have blog, but well, let's just try it. Nope, you don't. You just put it after the domain. And so the feed will then give you the posts. So if you get rid of this, you can literally, grab almost an entire blog of content, and it'll rewrite it all, and then you can repurpose it into another blog on another website. So there's nothing like this on the planet that I know of that'll go ahead and do this all in one tool, and we're adding more to it. If you're a developer and you want access to some of this, we're going to have that access for you as well in the future. But yeah, so you can see it's doing one article at a time, and it is a great way to, if you find some good content, or if it's your own content, you just want to repurpose it. This is a great way to be able to do that and to have some variety in the wording that you are putting into the other site. All right, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, reach out to me at daryl.chat. In a browser, just go to daryl.chat, and we'll talk to you. Thanks. Bye-bye.